What is the point of psychiatric wards anyway? Hi everyone, welcome back to my funeral. This is the current series I'm doing where I today decided to share everything off my chest. Like everything I would say if it was my last breath and I knew that tomorrow I wouldn't have to wake up and deal with the consequences. I am probably going to wake up tomorrow and deal with the consequences, but guess what? Who cares? This is part 2. Check out part 1 for a bit more of a backstory of why we're calling this the funeral. I can't bother to explain it. No, I'm not going to end my own life or anything like that. Unfortunately, I promised the Lord I would not do that. And that is the one promise I plan to keep in this life because, God, he says, if you make an oath, you better be serious about it. And so that's the one thing I can do. The one thing I can do is not do that. Everything else, I'm going to do my best. Anyway, psych wards, what's the frigging point? Like, actually, because, you know what, guys? We have such a weird relationship with living as humans, I feel like. And maybe it's because, Jesus defeated death, so I know death is not my portion realistically anyway. So I don't even see death as dying for me. It's just like, I'm going to go to sleep for a while until all is said and done. And then I'm going to wake up and I'm going to walk into heaven and see all my people and see you people. That sounds like fun. What do you mean? I get to just sleep off and then just wake up one day and just like, it's done. So done and dusted, guys. Come in for the banquet after the wedding. Come out and we're all having a whale of a time. Come for a party. We're about to party for eternity. Are you kidding me? That sounds amazing. But obviously, because most people don't have the faith in the Lord or whatever, or questioning their faith as Christians and not sure if they're going to heaven or hell, that's why people cling on to life. Because that's my thing with the psych ward thing, right? If somebody is in such a severe state, you get taken to a psychiatric ward, you're essentially in prison. They put you on all these medications, which I think would be more accurately titled tranquilizers. So just so you're existing, what's the point of still existing? Respectfully. What's the point? You're drugged out of your mind, so you're just literally breathing and alive for what? To make other people feel better. Because that's what it feels like. It feels like so much of us as humans and things we do, it's like we want people to be alive to make somebody else feel better, but that person's quality of life, what about that person's quality of life? I was thinking about this when I was in hospital, right? Because when I was in hospital, you guys remember this last year, and unfortunately I made it because, again, everybody was fighting to keep me alive. I'm hearing the stories they're doing x-rays, they're doing this, everyone's fighting to keep me alive, and no, guys, I didn't put myself in a dangerous situation on purpose, okay? Once again, I made the promise. I was fighting for my life, right? And I wish they hadn't again. Because I'm like, what are you fighting for? I'm not going to wake up and be like, oh my gosh. And then everyone wants you to be so grateful, for everything you did. I wish you hadn't. Especially if you're going to want me to be grateful, I especially wish you hadn't. Because I'm not grateful. I don't want to be here. If I was near death, let me die. But anyway, I was in hospital, and I remember in my hospital room, there was 4 of us patients, right? And I was I don't know, anyway, whatever. There was 4 of us in there, although the other people kept changing. And I was in the ward where when you're your first, I think it's 48 or 72 hours. And they're not quite sure yet if you're going to be staying for the long run or if they're going to be able to sort out everything in a couple of days, right? If you get moved off that ward, that means you're staying, bud. So once I discovered that, I was I got to get out of here immediately, because if I end up just missing the doctor and then they oh, we're going to take you to this ward, I'm going to be here for no. Anyway, so, and I was going to, the day I got discharged, I was about to self-discharge myself. They're that legally, if you discharge yourself, we'll have to write this up that you chose to leave. Of course, that's my free will. Hello. You're not doing, anyway, whatever. You're not helping anything, because they weren't actually helping anything, because they all came to, at the end of the day, yeah. Anyway, whatever. We'll talk about that another day. Because there probably will be another day. You know, thinking about when I was watching, I've been watching a lot of anime, to try and disconnect, escapism. I was watching and I realized that why is it always the people that are fighting the hardest to live die, and the people fighting the hardest to die live? That's the crazy part. Whenever, this is what I'm saying, I'm seeing people inside, in the hospital, I'm there, and there was some older, really older people, and they were really ill. I wasn't really, you guys know, I couldn't even sit still. I thank God I made my friend in there. Me and her were just getting up every hour and going out, walking around and just doing stuff. We were we wouldn't sit still, and you would see the hospital staff looking at us what's wrong with them? It's like, we don't want to be here. Like, we don't have to be here. And even she was the one who was like, by the way, I'll leave. I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that option. Yeah, the heck. So we were walking around, but then the other people there, really, really ill. Like there was a few older women, and one of them, she used to cough, like two of them, she used to cough all through the night. Like, and the coughing was so extreme, like it sounded like she was coughing blood. And it was just wheezy, chesty, mucusy, deep, heavy cough, right? And I was like, why are you even fighting to live? And one of them, she was really quite funny because she was walking around, she was very doom and gloom, right? Because I realized, this is what made me realize so much stuff about just our mental will, our mental power, and how much it has power over our bodies. Because obviously, I realized that the reason why I'm still alive is there's a part of me that really doesn't want to die. Like there's a part of me that wants to see whatever God's plans are in this life through. And that's the part that just keeps fighting. Because if I truly gave up, my body would truly give up. It would. If I truly gave up, and I can't give up. The thing is, I'm like, like I'm allergic to losing, and I'm allergic to lying. Like I'm allergic to giving up. Like I just can't do it. And I wish I could. But I can't, because like giving up would mean giving up my faith in God. And that's just something that's just never going to happen, because there's nothing that I believe and I trust in more than God and him being who he says he is and him being true to form. So it is literally impossible. This is the thing that's annoying now. This is the thing that's annoying about it all, is I'm gonna have to lay here because there's that part of my wheel somewhere that's like, because I've seen this lady, yeah, I'm sitting there, I'm the least one in the room, I'm the least one who cares to stay alive. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm like, oh, why did I have to wake up? And this woman, she, like the second woman who came in after the other woman got taken, she's like walking really slowly. She's like, and she was so doom and gloom. She's like, it just doesn't get any better. Like, yeah, and she could barely walk. She was walking with a little thing. And I was thinking, you know what? I could see, like, on a spiritual level, that her state of her body was also a reflection of her state of her mind. And that's what's funny, because that's what I realized about myself. Oh, damn, my faith is too strong. It's keeping me alive. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying. Like, what's the point of going on if you've truly given up? Like, either switch your attitude and, like, live and do something meaningful, like, at the very least, or just give into it. Like, why do we keep people? Like, why do we keep people? Like, why go to why do we send people to a psychiatric ward? Oh, so I was acting erratically, high trance, because of some severe things that happened to me in the first place, right? So how life treats me and the punishment I get for the troubles, the trials, tribulations, pain, and abuse, and all sorts of life that I get, is now I'm going to be tranquilized. So those memories are still there. I'm too numb and too under the influence to react or respond. I'm essentially not just a prisoner in the physical terms of my surroundings, but inside my own body. And somehow we think that's the solution to anything. Sorry, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. As one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. It's like when people are like dying, right? And then like they wake up and it's like, oh, you were near death. You were near death. You'll never be able to speak. You'll never be able to see. You'll never be able to hear. You'll never be able to talk. You'll never be able to eat for yourself. You can't move any single part of your body. But at least we saved you. At least, at the very least, you get to breathe oxygen every day while you can't do absolutely anything. Yay! Oh my gosh, we're the heroes. We are heroes. And guess what? At least you still have the gift of life. The gift of being here. It's so stupid. Like, just let people go. Let it go. Let it go. Like I will never forget this scene. I was watching this movie. And this guy, this was years ago. This was when I was still living in London. So, guys, I've never had a will to live. I just want you to know that. I've been feeling like this about life for 22 years. So it's going to take a lot for me to get out of this. And I'm actually not as far down as I was before. Because before I was like, oh, I'm going to, as soon as it hits, I'm going to make another attempt. But now we're no longer there. So this is actually progression. If you can imagine. For me, and again, the world we live in, right? One person's progression is somebody else is not good enough always. So to me, I'm like, well, we've progressed. Like, I've actually genuinely given up on trying to do it. And other people are like, oh my gosh, you should be talking about death like that. So casually, it's like, listen, you should be happy that I'm talking about it. Because the fact I'm talking about it is the reason that, you know, I'm not going to do it. Because before I wouldn't talk about it. And that's when I was absolutely doing it and trying and trying and trying and trying. I could make a whole video with you guys about the number of times I tried and I just kept making it back. And I think it was always because of my faith. And I believe, because the same time that I started to feel like I wanted to die when I was 7 is exactly the same year when I gave my life to Jesus. And it's like almost like God just intervened like at that exact moment, like just then, like when it was like, if he waited a year longer, if he waited maybe even days longer, because I was already thinking about this when I was 7, 8. I remember the things I was thinking about. Anyway, and you might be wondering why, guys, I saw too much in my life. Because all this traveling and stuff that I did, you know, we're like, oh yeah, she was born in America and then she moved to England and went to Zimbabwe for a year or 2 years and came back. That all occurred before I turned 8 years old. I turned 8 in England and I gave my life to Jesus when we first moved back here. When we moved back here when I was 8. Or before I was 8. So all that traveling, all of this, I'd seen enough. 3 continents, 3 chances, 3 is enough. Don't like it here. Don't like nothing. Don't like anything. Seen through everything. Let's get out of here. So that's why, guys, it's all kind of funny. Imagine I'm gonna be 30 next year. What a drag. Like, I'm still freaking here. I'm freaking here. Anyway, you guys get the gist of what I'm trying to say here. Like, in this movie, back to what I was actually saying, sorry, I'm going off. Actually, I'm not going to apologize. This is my channel. I get to do what I want for flip's sake. I've always been apologizing for everything. I should just apologize for existing at this point, because in this life, you can't, you know, people just want you to, you always like, have you noticed in society, we're always like pandering to somebody else? Like, everything is always about being courteous to somebody else, but then like, who's that somebody else is my question. Like, when we're doing all these societal rules, or these social rules, you know, oh, you have to do this, you have to behave like that, don't say that, don't be so controversial, you got to be politically correct. Who are we doing this for? Because it's like, we're all doing this for this somebody else, but there's never that somebody else that we're identifying. And I'll tell you what, I know who the somebody else is. It's always the losers. It's always the people who can't handle the truth, the weak people, the weak-minded, that we're doing all this little cuddling for. Anyway, back to the movie. This dude, in this movie, was... he'd been like sentenced to like life in prison, okay? And I think, and he had just been, or even if he hadn't, honestly, it's irrelevant. I can't remember exactly. And he was in one of these like world's worst prisons, because you know, like there's levels to prison. Like, can I be honest? Like, the prisons that are here, they're not like some of the other prisons. Like, low key, I've been thinking about intentionally getting arrested just so that I don't know, I can have a break. Honestly, I've been thinking about. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've been kind of thinking, should I just get arrested? Just go to prison. Everything that's stressing me out right now, a lot of it's gonna go away. And guess what? No one's gonna be able to get in touch with me. So maybe that's a good idea. It sounds sounding like better than this, but anyway, then I remember that it's all controlled by the government, and then I won't have less rights, and like I already don't have any rights. I already basically don't have rights, but then that's just like a more heightened, more potent, more concentrated version of what my already existence anyway. So probably won't do that. You know, probably is nice that I get to cook what I wanted to cook when I want to, and I can watch a nice little YouTube video, have a laugh, have a giggle, go out for a walk, or run when I want to, listen to music, make music, whatever I want to do. So, you know, there is still some levels of freedom. Anyway, so this guy's in prison, right? He's in not one of these nice prisons like you have in these types of countries, yeah. He's in like one of these world's worst where they're like overfilled. There's like 20 prisoners in one room. It's like a really hot country, and like everybody's just sleeping and like on each other, and like, and I when I say sleeping on each other, I'm not talking about the I'm not talking about in a sexual way. I mean like they're all just like, they're like sardines in a is it can? Tin? Whatever. And he's getting beaten up quite because he was a little scrawny one, wasn't he? He was a little scrawn, not very, like, he couldn't really defend himself. He was easy pickings, easy target, easy victim. So he's getting beaten up and all these types of things. And also he's not from this area. He got himself involved with the wrong crowd. He got messed with the wrong one. He messed around and he found out. Not only did he mess around and find out, he messed around and found himself in prison. And now, in this point, at this point, right? It's really funny because, like, these types of things, they really make me laugh, right? So he's like, he's been beaten up here, and he's like trying to defend himself. So at this point, he's like so beaten up, so bruised, and he's like crawling across the floor, trying to do anything, right? Trying to get himself to somewhere more safety, right? And he's like fighting for his life. And I'm thinking, give up. What are you fighting for? Like, what life are you fighting for at this moment? This is what I was thinking. This is why I had to give you guys the backstory of how long I've been against this whole living thing. What are you fighting for? Like, you're in this prison, you're living like a sardine. These people are literally throwing you around. They're treating you like, you know, like the equivalent of like how, you know, some people treated like their Barbie dolls growing up, you know what I mean? Taking off their heads, shaving their head, throwing, there's all sorts of things. You had the, you know, growing up what I loved, you had the girly girls who like looked after the Barbies and the brats and all of that and did their hair and they were like the best friends. Then you had the other heinous ones who just kind of like, you know, cat and moused it. That's the funny thing about the whole cat and mouse thing, you know, I find fascinating, like how the cats like to mess with the mice before they kill them. That's insane. And this is exactly what I would do. I think death is such an easy punishment. That's why people are like, this person deserves death penalty. Are you kidding me? They're going to get a great meal. You know why people do death row meals, by the way? If you didn't know why that started, that whole thing started, is because people were afraid that in the prisons that if they killed somebody that their demons would, like their ghosts or demons would come back to haunt the prison. So they give them their last meal as a kind of a way to appease them so that it's not like, oh, their demons or their ghosts are going to come back. So that's why death row people get like the whatever they want to eat before they die. That's actually why. So here you go, bit of fun fact for you. That's light work, bro. That's such light work. What do you mean you just get to die? Are you doing somebody a favor? What, they were supposed to spend life in prison? Oh, they're gonna die. Oh no. Oh no. Honestly, low-key, I can see the appeal of just doing whatever the hell I want for like a couple of years, right? Enjoying those couple of years, here for a good time, not a long time. Yeah, guys to prison, oh no, death row, oh no, oh gosh. And it's only an injection. I'm not even going to be hung or hanged, drawn and quartered like back in the day. We'll be slaughtered as a guillotine, whatever it's called, yeah? No. I'm just going to get this injection and be shocked and then I'm going to die. After having 3 years of doing whatever the freaking heck I wanted to do. That sounds like amazing. But anyway, and the things I would do wouldn't be the things that a lot of these death row people do. I just want to say that. Like, I don't have any desires to going murdering anybody. Okay. But anywho, I just couldn't believe this guy was fighting for his life like that. And like, it just, I don't know. These are the things that just made me realize that as humans, it's like I just don't understand. I can't fathom how death is truly the thing that people seem to fear the most. Like, when to me, it just represents true freedom of this flesh that's always working against me, freedom from this world where we all, myself included, always choose just the most demonic, evil things. That sounds like freedom. That sounds like true freedom. Here, right here, where he is right now, feels like the punishment. Life is the punishment. And it's crazy that people just actually continue to like persist. English isn't in the room with us today, is it? People continue to like fight for somebody's life. If somebody's that tormented, they're going through all these things in a psychiatric ward, and you haven't any solution, and your only solution is to just stop them from hurting themselves. Do you think any physical pain can compare with the emotional pains that people are going through? What, to just exist as a vegetable? It's like the lobotomies. I'm so sad. Oh yeah, that's gonna be my next video. Bring back lobotomies, because I have something to say about that, especially as a woman. That's where we're going next. I'm wrapping this up. Hope you guys are enjoying the funeral. When I tell you, I physically just don't care anymore. I don't care. Because you know why? This place sucks. Let's go to bring back lobotomies in the next video. Anyways, welcome to part 3. Come to part 3. And if you haven't, go back to part 1 to see the intro. Oh, guys, I swear. Actually, do you know what? I was going to say I'm not taking any drugs, but that's a lie. I just remembered, so I was looking at the colour of my tongue because I just remembered. I had to go to this meeting earlier. And I drank 2 double espressos. No wonder. I never drink coffee. No wonder I'm in such a silly mood. So I'm lying. I am drugged up. Gang, gang, gang. Anyways. Oh, I might go and have another coffee. I just add to the... No, I'm joking, guys. It was also because I was at a meeting and they were like, "Would you like a drink?" And I only drink espresso coffees, to be honest with you, because I don't want to drink a whole big drink, number one. And number two, I just love that nice little... It just reminds me of the days of Italy. I was only in Starbucks, having said that, which was as good as Italy? No, but it was actually better than I thought it was going to be. Anyway, see you in the next video, you guys. I love you guys here at the Winning Team so much. You guys are my favorite people all the time. This is why I'm telling you guys everything I want to talk about, and I'm coming here to tell you because I don't want to talk to anybody else. I don't want to be anywhere else. I don't want to do anything else. And this is the only slice of heaven I get to experience other than my times with the Lord, is my times with you all. And on that note, if life's a game, let's fade to win. God bless you. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.